Exports are a very key component in promoting economic growth for any country. Not only do they bring in more revenue, but they also open up new markets for people and companies. For India, increasing exports are extremely vital to not only becoming a $5 trillion economy by 2024-25, but also to achieve the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Hello and welcome to Transforming India. I'm Amitabh Kant, and in this edition, we will take a look at India's exports and the steps that the government is taking to promote them in global markets. But first, let's take a look at where India stands at present in the export situation. In the April-September period of 2021, India's exports stood at about $312.4 billion. This marked a growth of over 40% in the same period as compared to 2020, when India's exports were only $222.3 billion. Merchandise exports were $197.8 billion and services $114.5 billion. Coming at a time when the global markets were laid low by the COVID-19 pandemic, these figures are an indication that the Indian economy is on the recovery path. India has also been using the time of pandemic to strengthen its manufacturing to meet future global demand through exports. Let's take a look at India's infrastructure development and its policy initiatives to augment merchandise exports.
An enabling infrastructure is the key to robust global trade. Merchandise trade is supported by efficient seaports and shipping industry, air cargo transportation, and land custom stations. The government is working on an effective strategy to make India a world leader in global trade in order to achieve double-digit growth and stimulate development. The endeavour includes development and modernization of seaports, pushing air cargo operations, policies to improve ease of doing business, removing bottlenecks, and making most of the processes digital.
Ports, as you would know, handle almost 95% of trade by volume, which basically means that the 12 major ports and roughly 200 non-major ports, out of which maybe about 100 are active, they basically are the only tool or instrument through which trade takes place in this country. And a developing economy like India, where the trade has been growing substantially over the last few years, the capabilities and capacities of ports become very important for an effective growth of trade.
The government's major focus is on developing new ports and upgrading existing port infrastructure, which in a pandemic-hit world is essential not just for trade but also to save lives. These images are a testimony to the role maritime transportation plays in our lives. This is INS Airavate on a mission to save lives. It is carrying one of the single largest consignments of emergency supplies, including liquid medical oxygen, oxygen cylinders and ventilators, along with other medical equipments to India from various countries. The mission was part of Indian Navy's Samudra Setu 2 exercise to augment ongoing efforts to meet oxygen requirements in the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic. India has a vast coastline of 7,500 kilometers with 12 major ports and over 200 non-major ports. Approximately 95% of its trade by volume and 68% by value takes place through maritime transport.
Seaports are an integral link between trading countries. As ports become more modernized and efficient, the cost of exporting and importing goods gets sharply reduced. And this leads to lower cost for consumers. The flagship Sagarmala program was launched to make Indian ports truly world-class and globally competitive. It aims to promote port-led development while reducing the cost of logistics, improving efficiency while increasing capacity. The Sagarmala scheme focuses on modernizing existing ports and developing new mega ports, thereby significantly improving capacity and efficiency, creating coastal economic zones, providing rail and road connectivity to ports, and development of the coastal community.
The National Perspective Plan for Sagarmala was released on 14th of April 2016 for the holistic and integrated development of the Indian coastline and maritime sector. It is a roadmap to increase the capacity of Indian ports to over 3,300 million tons per annum by 2025. Under the plan, master planning for 12 major ports was carried out. Global benchmarks were adopted to improve the efficiency and productivity at major ports. Currently, 802 projects worth 5.53 lakh crore rupees are part of the Sagarmala program. Of these, 172 projects have been completed at a cost of 88,235 crore rupees. 235 projects worth 2.17 lakh crore rupees are under implementation. Under the Sagarmala program, several projects are underway at major ports in India. These include the largest container port in India, the Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, that recorded its highest ever growth in container traffic in March 2021. The JNPT is also building a new major port at Wadhwa near Dhanu in Maharashtra at an investment of 65,544 crore rupees.
Sagarmala has been one of the most ambitious and a very well crafted program of the Government of India. It essentially has 4 or 5 verticals. One is of course about capacity enhancement, modernization, but at the same time it also talks about port-led industrialization, about digitization, about looking at coastal communities, for example. So, if to quote some figures on let us say the infrastructure or port modernization, almost 236 projects with the value of about 1.2 lakh crores is what is the kind of money that has been spent by the Government of India on these projects. Similarly, about 94 projects of connectivity which are valued at about 2.35 lakh crores that are being implemented. Most of the projects have either been completed or are about to be completed in these last 4 to 5 years.
A series of reforms have been undertaken to make seaports more efficient and cost effective. Amongst them is the use of advanced technology to make them smart ports. The Port Community System is a major initiative to ensure a single window for port community members and stakeholders and a centralized hub connecting all ports. The Enterprise Business System is also being implemented to provide a digital port ecosystem at 5 major ports in Mumbai, Chennai, Kandla, Paradeep and Kolkata. A national logistics portal, Marine, is being set up to provide a single window platform for exporters, importers and service providers to transact business.
EBS project. This brings standardization. 1,800 processes across 13 major ports. Now those are standardized to 163 processes, and upgrading infrastructure across all ports. So this project is initiated currently for 5 major ports, and if when successful will be rolled out for all other ports. So it will facilitate the electronic exchange of trade related data and documents. It will help in reducing transaction time and cost of processing the documents. So these initiatives provide tracking and tracing of containers, goods, and everything. Like, you can monitor and get real-time data while ensuring data confidentiality. That is very important. This will ultimately create an e-commerce platform with marketplace that provides easy information access and helps the users in quick decision making.
The government is also encouraging public-private partnership for projects under Sagarmala and promoting entrepreneurship and innovation. To achieve the vision of Sagarmala program, a law has been passed to transform the management model of major ports. The Major Ports Authority Act 2021 grants the major port authorities greater operational and financial freedom to develop as world-class ports. In the past few years, the government has undertaken several legislative reforms to promote the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, ease of doing business, public-private partnerships, and digitalization. These include the Inland Vessels Act passed in August 2021, which aims to make legislative framework user-friendly and promote ease of doing business. Its objective is to ensure seamless, safe, and economical trade and transportation through the inland waterways by uniform applicability of rules. The new model concession agreement for port sector was announced on 18th of November 2021 for PPP projects at major ports. The MCA 2021 aims to attract private developers and investors in the port sector by bringing in reforms. The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways has clearly defined pipeline of 31 projects of more than 14,600 crore rupees to be awarded on PPP till financial year 2025. Under the new MCA, provision has been made for providing flexibility to the concessionaires to fix their tariff based on market conditions.
To fill in the demand gap, the government is expanding capacity by building 2 new major ports at Vadhavan in Maharashtra and Paradeep Outer Harbour in Odisha. And under the Project Unnati, global benchmarks have been adopted to improve efficiency and productivity for 12 major ports. The Sagarmala program is expected to help industries to save up to rupees 40,000 crores annually and increase India's GDP by 2%. It will also create over 1 crore jobs. Other than the development of ports, India is also looking to harness its inland waterways for cargo transportation. With our rich network of rivers, canals, backwaters, this could turn out to be the most cost-effective and sustainable solution for cargo transportation within the country.
111 waterways spread over 24 Indian states have been declared as national waterways. The Jal Marg Vikas project for National Waterway 1 on the Haldia-Varanasi stretch of the Ganga-Bhagirathi-Hooghly river system is currently underway. With financial assistance from the World Bank, the project focuses on infrastructure development, construction of multi-modal terminals, a digital global positioning system, integrated repair and maintenance systems at Varanasi, Sahibganj, Haldia, Ghazipur and Kalughat among others. The Indo-Bangladesh Protocol route will use National Waterways 1 and 2 to move goods. It will also connect landlocked nations like Bhutan, Nepal and Myanmar. The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways is also incentivizing shipbuilding to create an Atmanirbhar shipping industry. To support the domestic shipbuilding industry, the Shipbuilding Financial Assistance Policy was cleared on 9th of December 2015. Under this, a projection of 4,000 crore rupees was approved as financial assistance to shipyards for 10 years from 2016 to 2026. The ministry has already disbursed 61.05 crore rupees till date under this policy. In December 2020, India delivered its first vessel in the export market since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. The general cargo vessel Lady Hedwig was sent to Netherlands as the third vessel in a series of 6.
India is coming back into a better position in shipbuilding. But as we stand, we'll have to look at this in 2 different buckets, commercial shipbuilding and defense shipbuilding. In defense shipbuilding, India is in a good position. But in commercial shipbuilding, India is not in a very good position as of today. There have been a lot of initiatives that have been taken in the past few years now, especially connected with Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives. So the change is visible and things have started to change.
India's first indigenous aircraft carrier Vikrant is set to be inducted into the Indian Navy next year. The 40,000-ton aircraft carrier is the largest and most complex warship to be built in India. It has been built at a cost of around 23,000 crore rupees by Cochin Shipyard Limited, propelling India into a select group of countries having capabilities to build state-of-the-art aircraft carriers. It has the capability to operate MiG-29K fighter jets, Kamov-31 helicopters and MH-60R multi-role helicopters.
What is the most important aspect which I see from the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative is suddenly the global players have realized that if you need to do business in India, if you need to participate in India's growth story, then you need to team up and participate in India. So this is the largest impact that we are seeing. And it's not just in ships, it's in various subsystems, it's in component production, it's in various solutions. And this would be one of the greatest drivers as we move forward for spurring manufacturing of ships in this country.
Aiming to become a leading shipbuilding country by 2030, India is currently focusing on the idea of Make in India, Make for the World. To achieve this, the government launched the Maritime India Vision 2030 at the Maritime India Summit in March 2021. This is a 10-year blueprint to create world-class ports, waterways, and make India Atmanirbhar in shipping. It overhauls the Indian maritime sector with an investment of over 3 lakh crore rupees in port projects and generates over 20 lakh jobs while unlocking the annual revenue potential for major ports worth over rupees 20,000 crore. The document envisions expansion of cruise tourism and incentivizing global cruise liners to make India their home port.
Rupees 1 to 1.25 lakh crore investment have been planned to augment the infrastructure of major ports. This will create 7 to 10 lakh jobs, besides developing mega capacity ports in high potential areas of Gujarat, Maharashtra and Odisha West Bengal cluster. The government has also planned to increase transshipment volumes of Indian cargo at Indian ports from 25% in 2020 to over 75% by 2030. This will be achieved by developing the Varanium and Cochin ports and developing the transshipment zone in Campbell Bay. Development of green sustainable ports is expected to increase renewable energy to over 60% by 2030 from current levels of less than 10%. The government is also aiming to reach the target of zero accident ports by 2022.
Through this Maritime India Summit, I want to invite the world to come to India and be a part of our growth trajectory. India is very sincere about growing in the maritime sector and emerging as a leading blue economy of the world. Our leading focus area includes upgrade current infrastructure, create next generation infrastructure, boost the reform journey. Through these steps, we aim to give strength to our vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
In a globalized world, the development of seaports is a major step towards boosting exports. In its pursuit of the goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat, India is playing a very vital role in the post-COVID world by increasing its manufacturing and exporting capabilities. The export-led growth strategy finds resonance in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's One District, One Product vision that aims to convert each district into an export hub. A strategy that predicates a strong engagement with the states and union territories. India also has a vast potential to capture opportunities in new global markets, in the current dynamic scenario. However, this will require a focused policy shift towards integration with major global supply chains, improving the ease of doing business and adopting global standards. Thank you for watching Transforming India.